All right, in this chapter, I'm going to be going through a bonus chapter from More Adventures in Jazz, okay? If you are interested in getting this book, there is links on the website in which you can get it. I am going to be giving you page 28 here, all right, for this book. And actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm also going to put in page 29 on some improvisation. So I'm going to give you 2 pages from this book for free on this DVD. This book, just basically to tell you what's in it, there's a bunch of different songs, right? Using a variety of techniques. There's a nice one with a blues bass line here. Jeez, I haven't played these songs in so long. Whoops. Anyway, you get the idea, okay? So that's Lason's Jive. You know, there's a lot of nice, cool, bluesy kind of songs here. This one. Okay, so anyway, and in the back, I go through the blues progression. I talk about how to incorporate play and rest into your improvisation, and I also give you some sample licks and rhythms, and you can play along with a real live band that's on the CD or MP3 download files. Okay, and there are also MIDI files for this. Okay, so on page 28 here of More Adventures in Jazz, what I wanted to show you here is how to apply these rootless chord voicings to the blues. Now, what I have written out here are only 3-note chords. Now, we know that the C7 chord adds into 13, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll leave that out because, you know what, it sounds okay just playing the 3 notes, and it gives you more of an open sound, which allows you to do some more kind of crazy kind of stuff up here in the improvisation. Look at it this way. When you have 3 notes in your chord, that's only 3 notes that you have to contend with your improvisation. So for instance, if I have that 13th in there, that A natural, and I'm playing like, I gotta kind of stay away from that note because it's going to conflict with the 13. Whereas if I go, so you see how I can kind of get away with a little bit more. I have a little bit more latitude and a little bit more freedom by leaving some of those notes out. Okay, so I suggest that you practice it both ways though. So practice it with a note out, practice it with a note in. Okay, so let's just go through each of these chords. We have C7, we can play it like that, or we can play it like that. We have F7, E flat, A, D, we can play it like that, or we can also add in the G, which is the 9th. The next chord we have is A7, which is written like this, G, C sharp, F sharp. We can also add in the B, which is the 9th. And we have D7, F sharp, C, and E. We can add in the 13th, which is B. And we have G7, which is F, B, and E. And we can add in the 9th, which is A. So once again, let me go through all 3 of them. I'm going to go through the way that they're written. C7. F7, A7, D7, G7. Okay. So now, I'm not going to play along with the band right now, I'm just going to play solo. Reason being is, I want you to understand that, I mean, you heard me playing along this with the band in the beginning, so you know what that sounds like. But I want you to understand that you could play these rootless chord voicings without playing any bass, all right? It's kind of neat. Okay, so here we go. Now you can go into the bass line from Lason's Jive. So what I did was I went back and I did the bass line from Lason's Jive, which is on page 12. It's still a blues in the key of C, so it works out perfectly. I think I added a couple of extra chords in here. No, not really. I do a kind of a G minor 7, C7 thing before getting to the F in measure 5. But for the most part, it's all the same. It's all interchangeable. Okay, so don't worry so much about the improvisation. I know you might hear some stuff there that you like and you want to figure it out. That's okay, you can figure that out. But remember that the goal of this DVD is to understand those left-hand chord voicings. So don't lose focus there. Something else I want to tell you that you can do in the right hand is notice how I can basically use notes from that blues scale in octaves. All right? And now I can also throw in stuff like my ninth. A half step, just move everything down a half step or up a half step. You use that half step approach stuff. If you can do the roll. Okay. Oh, that's the other thing I want to tell you. You can also then start to throw those chords in the right hand. I understand you can't see some of that stuff down there. That's okay. The main thing that you should be getting out of this is that, oh, I can play that bass line from Lason's Jive if you decide to purchase the rest of the book. It's not necessary, obviously. But you could do that bass line from Lason's Jive and then throw in those chords in your right hand. In fact, I believe that I do talk about that. I believe in the next, on page 15, I talk about playing that bass line and then putting the chords in the right hand. All right, so that's a basic, some basic stuff that you can do along with the blues. Now, obviously, you can do that in all 12 keys and stuff like that. This book also goes into the key of F, so you get the blues in C, F, and also I do one in B flat. So those are 3 big keys that you definitely should know. Okay, so I will see you at the next chapter.